Okay, so we're looking at the introduction to trigonometry, the new topic. And just to not to confuse you, trigonometry just means the measurement involving right-angled triangles. And in a right-angled triangle, there are a few things we can measure. We can measure lengths, pen going. We can measure lengths of sides. And the other thing we can do is we can measure angles in the triangle. Okay, so copy that down and come across when you're ready. Okay, so some basics. I've got a right-angled triangle as described by a right angle there. And now these two other angles, we have to have some letters for that. But just to start off with, the side opposite the right angle is called the hypotenuse, just like it was in Pythagoras. Okay, so we will start off with naming that. But there's two other sides. And in this diagram, I've got two angles, and they use Greek letters. Okay, so we use Greek letters in describing unknown angles. So this first part, we're just going to say there's two other angles, and one of the Greek letters is theta. We've got alpha, we've got beta, but rather than using x and y, we use Greek letters. So at this stage, don't worry too much about what the names are, but when you see a symbol for an angle, it's usually a Greek letter. Okay, and usually you only get one angle given. You don't normally get both angles given. So copy that down and come across when you're ready. Okay, so once we've got a right angle triangle, as described by the right angle, and we've got one of the angles, first thing we do is we can name the hypotenuse straight away. And the other two sides have names based on where they are in relation to the angle. So this angle here is in the bottom corner, and this side is opposite the angle. Okay, so the right angle is the first thing you do. Opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse, and opposite the angle is called the opposite. And this other side, which is just next to the angle, we call that the adjacent side. So that's the side that's next to it. But basically, once you name the hypotenuse and the opposite, the last side is called the adjacent. So copy that down and we'll get some practice naming some sides. Okay, so I'll do the first one with you, just so you understand. Okay, so I've got a right angle. So the first side is hypotenuse over there. So in my table, the hypotenuse is AB. Okay, now the angle is down here, so opposite is here. So the opposite side is AC. And then the last side must be the adjacent, which is BC. And we normally name it in alphabetical order. So can you have a go at the next two yourself, and when you're ready, come back live. Okay, so let's have a look. I forgot to put the right angle in, sorry about that. So hopefully you saw that. So the hypotenuse is there, that's the opposite, and the last side is the adjacent. So we've got opposite is XZ, adjacent is XY, hypotenuse is YZ. And the next one, go to the right angle first, so that's the hypotenuse, that's the opposite, and the last side is the adjacent. So opposite is MN, adjacent is NP, hypotenuse is MP. So it doesn't matter if you don't get that letter order right, like you can have PM, doesn't matter. Okay, so hopefully you did that right. Let's see what's next. And that's it. So that's the first part of the video, is just naming the sides. And hopefully you got that right. There will be building up skills. So you don't need to practice this from the textbook at this stage.